What's up, everybody? We have got looks like a TVZ, and it looks like we're on a Daybreak. I think that's the name of this map. Looks like we've got the Terran, IllIlllIll at the bottom left, and in the top right we've got Nuke. Nuke, player, what's happening? So Nuke is a guy that I know a little bit about. He's a Zerg player, and pretty much he just like wrecks house on Terran players. He is in the Platinum League, and from what I hear, this Terran is in the Diamond League. So he's going to be up for a little bit of a challenge, but I think he's up for it. I think he's going to wreck house and pretty much bring it to this guy and tear it up. So Daybreak, you know, I'm going to be straight up honest right here. I'm not the TVZ expert, so I'll, you know, give as much info as I've got on it. I rather play the other race, the Protoss race. However, I'm not going to mention that again this match. I will tell the little bit that I do know about it, and in general, Terrans, the metagame right now is to get fast expansions like a fast second and even a fast, very fast in-base third. I don't know totally if the Fast X is going to be like command center before barracks. Seems like that'd be a little risky, but it might pay off. Or if it's going to be a fast command center like right after you get your orbital command, which I kind of like because I think that mules are imba, and so the quicker that you get those mules, the better. But both options I think work, and judging by the minerals here, it looks like he might be trying to get a command center first before he's got anything else. And Nuke's got a drone right here. He's going to scout everything. He's going to see it all. He's going to know what's going on. And Nuke, in kind, is going to take his expansion pretty quick, although he did get a pretty early spawning pool. So we'll see what he does with that. And I almost think he can get some quick Zerglings out, at least to either delay this expansion or at least harass it and at least keep this Terran on his toes. But, you know, I'm not the expert at this match, so I don't know if that's totally viable. But what does he have here? Looks like he's got 4 Zerglings on the way. And where does he have them rallied? Looks like he does not have them rallied. I thought he did it first. He had the Overlord rallied, I suppose. So what do we got here? Barracks. Looks like he's starting a little bit of a wall off here at the front. Wall-offs are always good, especially against those speed Zerglings that can just run by and wreck house, especially if they get into your mineral line, which is the worst place they could possibly be. Unless, of course, you're the Zerg that's actually doing the attacking, in which case that's exactly where you want them. So, first thing I gotta notice, let's see, no, never mind, that barracks is not even done yet. But you want the orbital command as soon as that barracks finishes. So he's probably going to get it immediately after his barracks finish. So yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. So 4 Zerglings coming in. I think that they could at least cause a little bit of trouble. So let's see what happens. It looks like he's not pushing forward, and he's got a drone there, which let's follow and see what he does. I think that was a mistake that he was even out there, unless he was like the early scout and just, you know, hung back and checked out the watchtower, which is like legit. That's legit. Alright, let's take a look at Nuke. We haven't really paid much attention to Nuke. So looks to me like he's probably droning up. That's what I would expect a Zerg to be doing right now, is to just drone up and get that crazy like 60 drones or whatever, although usually that's like off 3 base. But this guy, I'm willing to bet, is going to take his third. Okay. Alright. Cool. Sweet. Looks like this wall off is totally finished up. So no Zergling run-bys are going to be going on in here. And the Terran is going for, so far, obviously it's just Marines because he has no gas whatsoever. So, yeah, not going to be able to put a lot of pressure on anytime soon until he gets gas, because Marines aren't that great unless you're in a big number and like doing some kind of crazy 6 racks all in. But that's not what we have here. And I'm sure Nuke will be able to get some kind of tech that can deal with a bunch of Marines, mainly banelings, which is like the main tech to deal with Marines. But, so, there you have it. And, yeah, that. Zerglings checking out. the watchtower, and barracks producing marines, and hatcheries getting up, and spine crawlers ready to just stab something. An excellent unit that always wants to stab something is one of my favorites. Whoa, what do we have here? So this is like a handful of marines and a whole bunch of SCVs. Well shit, I mean it seems like all in-ish. He took pretty much all of his SCVs from his main, but he can definitely recover from this if he does enough damage. It looks like Nuke saw it, and what is he doing in response? Let's look at production. Production. He's making 20 lings. I think that's a good response. I think it's an excellent response. And his 3 spine crawlers here are going to help a lot, especially if he gets those zerglings out in time to help defend with all this. I think he's going to be okay. But the zerglings aren't out yet. Yeah, they are. They're just popping, and he made another 20. I think he's going to be able to stop this. That's my prediction, but let's just watch and find out. It looks like the zerglings and the drones are all in there. And they killed like pretty much all those SCVs, so now he's just got to tangle with about, what is that, about 10 or 16 Marines. Definitely nothing to just ignore. He could possibly take out this third, but man, the Terran lost so many SCVs right now that I'm just going to say that it's looking like it's going to be an even exchange if he takes out this hatchery. I just noticed also that the Terran put up a third base himself, so the way I'm seeing this play out is if the Zerg is able to kill off this army and deny this third, then I'm going to say everything's going to be pretty much even. But if that third gets up and running, then the Zerg's going to have a big advantage. However, just as I said that, it looks like that our Zerg player Nuke just found this third base, and he's sending like all his lings over to deny it. So what are these Marines going to do? If these Marines come in and punish the second, which I don't think they're going to be able to do, so I'm going to say things are pretty much even as long as this third base here gets denied. I mean, it's floated as it is right now, and all these Zerglings I think could have engaged as Marines, but they didn't, so whatever. And we've got a handful of Marines here still. I'm going to say Wrecking House. Yeah, they're basically killing a lot of stuff, and they haven't been destroyed yet. I'm just taking a look at the production over at the top right, also the minerals and gas, and it looks like Zerg's floating quite a bit, although that's not necessarily too bad of a thing because they could be teching up to mutas or something like that and then dump it all at once into something like that. And you got Nuke here talking trash, which mid-game I think it's a good move. I'm going to say it's a good move, talking some trash and you know, get this guy off his game. And look what that invoked. It invoked another all-in-ish move with SCVs and Marines, which is, I'm going to say, a little bit crazy, and I don't necessarily think that if he attacks it's going to work, although he's got a hidden expo down here at the right. I don't even know what's going on with that, so yeah. No, that was not a very good engagement there with the Zerglings, but he did scout it, so he could maybe respond with something. He's got 16 more Zerglings in production, and guys started spamming me. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means at all. But so you got Marines here trying, sorry, and the banelings. The banelings just took everything out. Whoa, that was huge. That was huge. He didn't kill everything though. He's still got a handful of Marines here. But if he kills these Marines, the game's pretty much over because that was like almost all the SCVs left. A handful there, a small handful there, a small handful there. I'm not going to say he's 100% out, but the Zerg is in a very strong position here. Very good position, especially with that third coming up. Although the Marines coming down here could possibly deny that. And if he does deny this, I'm just going to say it's still kind of even. The Zerg, both of them have potential here. So I'm going to just say it's even. Because technically the Terran has 4 bases, but the Zerg's got more advantage because I'm pretty sure the Zerg, well, as you can see right here, they've got a lot more minerals and gas saved up. And for pulling all of those SCVs, he really didn't do any damage to the Zerg economy. I mean, he did kill a lot of the army, especially with those banelings going off, but I don't think it's enough to justify just losing all those workers, losing all those SCVs. However, the Terran is expanding all over the map, and so the longer the Terran does that, the more income he's going to have. So he could come back from this, possibly, but we'll have to see if the Zerg is going to put enough pressure on, enough punishment on right now, which he definitely could do. There is not a lot, really, that the Terran can do to stop a bunch of Zerglings and banelings, but I don't know if Nuke necessarily knows that. He should know that because there's been like 2 all-in-ish type attacks with SCVs in massive amounts. But let's just watch these Zerglings, Speedlings, and see where they go. Looks like they're just hanging out right now. They need to be headed out like they got somewhere to go. They need to be headed out like there's nothing between them and pass and go and collecting $200. And that drone in the middle is going to just, you know, wreck house and probably build a manor hatch. Actually, you know what? That's balling. I like that. That's perfect for a manor hatchery. A manor hatchery, by the way, if any of you guys good-mannered noobs out there don't know what a manor hatchery is, it's when you put a hatch right in the middle of your opponent's base just to show him that you're wrecking his house and you know it, and there's nothing he can do to stop that manor hatchery that's in the middle of his base. Bah! It's like hilarious, but I have a feeling that this is not what this drone's for. He probably accidentally got put in his control group. So anyway, what do we have right here? We got a bunch of Marines, and they are not going to be able to do shit against all these banelings, which it looks like they will not do shit. So that's another thing. But here's what's going on though. The Terran does have a lot of expansions around the base. So if the Zerg is actively scouting and denying these, he's going to be great. He's going to be in an awesome position. But there is the potential there for the Terran to get kind of like an out of control economy where he's just has tons of resources coming in, and if he's spending them all really well, it looks like he does have quite a few barracks. He could come back into this, although the way that I'm saying it, yeah, the Zerg does still have the advantage. Does he know that? I don't know. I don't know if he knows that. He should know that because, as I said before, there was like a couple all-ins that had tons of SCVs and he basically like murdered them, but I don't know. We'll find out. So here he goes, attacking this expansion at the top left. I don't think he should have collided the banelings into the building. He should have saved the buildings for, he should have saved the banelings for units. But he might think he's far enough ahead, he can just throw them away at buildings. But I don't know. Maybe it was intentional, maybe it was a mistake. Maybe he accidentally did not control these Zerglings here to all attack at once, where he probably would have lost less units. Maybe he just wanted to attack with half of his army and make the Terran think he had a better chance at this when he actually does not have a very good chance at this. That's like mind games, and I respect that. I like that. I like playing mind games with your opponent, especially when you think you're in a dominant position. I don't know for sure or not if this guy knows he's in such a dominant position, but I would say that still he is in a dominant position because look at this, another all-in-ish attack with a bunch of SCVs. I mean, it's just not it's not smart, especially with banelings out on the field. I mean, what do you think you're gonna do? Just like lose 20 SCVs to like 3 banelings? That's like what's gonna happen. Anyway. So the Terran keeps expanding, which is good, but he's got no tech above Marines. I haven't seen any tech above Marines, and the Zerg keeps expanding also, and he's got Speedlings and Banelings, and that pretty much Marines. So, yeah. So, I haven't really been paying attention to the upgrades, but let's take a look. It looks like 1-1 for the Zerg, and let's look at the Marines. The Marines have 1-1 also, so not really an advantage to this player. And so this one expansion again is being denied any kind of mining and any workers or anything. How about this one? This one looks like it hasn't really it hasn't got off the ground at all, but it also hasn't been attacked. This one is not a planetary like the other one was, but it's like pretty well saturated on the minerals at least, but not gas. So since this guy seems to be going an all marine strategy, which again I don't think is the best, being that banelings are out on the field. Yeah, that's what's going on. That base there is not very well saturated. On the Terran side though, sorry, Zerg side. Oh, and it looks like the Zerg supply blocked himself, so he made 17 overlords. Not a bad idea if you're that supply blocked and you have just tons and tons of minerals. So, yeah. So I wasn't really paying super close attention to the Zerg. It looks like his bases keep getting denied and he's not able to expand off more than 2 bases. Maybe I should have paid better attention to that, but now we have like, that is a shitload of SCVs. It's basically like all in number 3, and I mean a bunch of banelings could really clean this up and really change the tide of things. But where are we doing over here? Okay, so he's cleaning up. It looks like a small little force there. And how much banelings has he got? He's got a handful of banelings, and that could clean all this stuff up, which it looks like it's going to. Cleaned it up pretty bad. Those banelings just wreck house. I've said wreck house like 20 times, but that's what the banelings keep doing. You keep sending Marines and SCVs, and banelings keep wrecking the house like they're house wrecker. It's like this is their profession. It's like their job. So I really got to look at the units and just see how many SCVs are left. He's still got 39. Dude, that's crazy. This guy's making so many SCVs like it's his melee unit in tower defense or something like that. But this is not tower defense. This is a regular StarCraft game. And I really don't understand why this Terran hasn't teched higher than SCV and Marine. Maybe he's just one of these guys that just wins a lot of games all inning off Marines and SCVs. I don't know. I've said it like 20 times this game, but banelings sort of wreck both those units. But hey, we'll see. Still, the Terran for pretty much this whole game, or I'm going to say at least 15 minutes of it, has had like something like 5 bases, and not all of them have been harassed really hard, but the Terran player has actually been sort of like messing up his own expansions by taking all the SCVs out of it and going attacking and getting them killed by banelings. That's just what's going on here. That's just what's happening. But the Zerg's having a really hard time getting off of these 2 bases, and it looks like the 2 bases he started with are pretty much mined out. So he's really got to get more bases going to stay in this game. On the other hand, he's got a good handful of speedlings, and he's doing a good job of denying these 2 at the northwest. But this one with the planetary fortress, it's getting resaturated after all the previous SCVs went to attack, which was not really what they're meant to do. And we've got this one kind of in the middle center south that I don't even think has been scouted. Let's take a look at the Zerg perspective and see. Yeah, he is not. I'm going to say he's not been doing a very good job of scouting the whole map. He has been denying those 2 northwest ones, but he hasn't even scouted that middle center planetary fortress or the center south one, which was, I don't think that was a planetary fortress. Maybe it was. No, it's not. And then there's brand new southeast one coming up. So Zerg definitely should be doing a better job of scouting the map. He's got speedlings. Speedlings are great at denying like ninja expos and denying new little things that are trying to get their feet off the ground. What is the Zerg doing though? Production is like a whole bunch of lings. I criticized the Terran earlier for not getting higher tech than Marines and SCVs, and now I've got to say that the Zerg should really be going for a higher kind of tech, because yeah, the Zerg keeps like murdering all of these little Marine SCV pushes, but how is he really going to break this? I mean, I see the Zerg having a hard time breaking even just this wall without a higher tech. At least roaches or something like that. I mean, they seem like they would do okay, I guess. I mean, who knows? Maybe if he gets enough banelings, then he could just like baneling bust all of this stuff. I guess those are just kind of options, although the real problem with the Zerg is that he just got his 3rd base up, and he's got a 4th coming up here, and usually the the way that Zergs operate is to get expansions all over the base, and In this case, that was another Marine troop that just got totally obliterated. I don't get why this Terran player's not getting higher tech though. The standard, from what I understand of TVZ, is to get a Marine tank, and I've seen no tanks yet. And it just seems like Speedling and baneling is like the perfect counter to Marines, which is pretty much the only unit I've seen so far. Another check at the upgrades. The Zerglings are 2-1, it looks like, and the Marines 2-2. So Marines, very small advantage, but I wouldn't say it's like a game-ending one. But so we've got, I don't even know what this is. It's like another semi all-in-ish, but it looks like he just took one of his expos and took the mule and its SCVs to go try and deny this fourth expo. But it looks like he's successful. He's at least putting a lot of pressure on this base, and there's nothing mining at it. I don't know why he would talk bad about day 9. That seems really like out of place here. But I guess if you're angry and you don't like day 9, then this is as good a forum as any to give your aggressions. And so we have another all-in-ish kind of play here with a whole bunch of SCVs and some Marines coming up. So I don't exactly know where this game's going. Who? Terran's gonna win? Well, he does have like 6 bases now, and the Zerg just did not do a great job of scouting the whole map. And now it's over. No GG, no re. So this is Brobot giving you a solo, first solo of the day. Peace out.